Well, greetings. My name is BolaniLe Patterson, and welcome to Women Healing Globally. And I'm just going to start kind of where I'm at right now. So, recently I had just came out of a relationship, an engagement to be exact, and I've been in a lot of relationships or marriages. A few. I won't say a lot, but a few. and I used to feel embarrassed about it, but I had to start really just learning and owning who I am and what I've been, and to myself, how I've abandoned myself, how I had self-sabotaged myself, how I had not addressed those dark, deep shadow sides that we hide from everyone else, including thinking that we're hiding it from the Most High. But I realized something important, and this is the reason why this was birthed from me. I created the 9 dimensions of health and wellness, and it is really because I needed them for myself. This mission exists because I really needed the help, because everything really starts with you, right? Breakthroughs, understanding, not just in one area of my life, but in many or several. So the 9 dimensions, and I just want to keep it simple so you can follow me in what I'm talking about. We all share these virtues, right? We all have had to address them. Some of them we're mastered in, some of them we're not, maybe none, maybe all. But nevertheless, this is why I feel it's really important. And so the 9 dimensions starts as this. These are things that we all deal with: emotional wellness, our spiritual wellness, social wellness, economic wellness, and environmental wellness, financial wellness, career, intellectual and creative, and self-love. Because the truth is, every one of us at some point or another is impacted by these. And that's kind of real talk, for real. But some people may feel like they've mastered certain areas, while others, even at this stage in my life, I am still learning how to process all of this and how to balance them all. Kind of like everything that we're exposed to now, through social media, through our friendships, through our technology, there's constant information, there's food, what we look at, the TV, what comes through frequencies on the phone. I mean, it's hard to decipher all of that. It's hard to gravitate to something that you really align with that is actually for your highest good. You can be easily distracted, if that's better, We become easily distracted outside of ourselves so that we won't deal with those areas of dimensions that I just talked about, So it's important that I had created this platform to be able to address those, right? And the fact is, like I said, this is things that I had to realize on my own. And I came up with the question like, hey, where do I fit? I did not want to really get on social media in a way that was going to expose more of the vulnerable sides of me. I was good at posting pictures of, looking good, with a guy, being happy, like none of the images that I curated from my personal life that I think were actually negative, or they weren't like false in its intention. But I do understand that was me showing the image, posting the pictures, doing all of this stuff, but behind closed doors, and what it is that my mission now, and knowing what my mission is, and to service and do my part, which is offer this curriculum of a safe place for mental health awareness for women globally, right? to address those 9 dimensions. And not only that, but offer it to the curriculum, to our schools, to our youth who they struggle with. They're growing young people. They have to be able to figure out all of these dimensions of themselves, the duality of themselves. How does it look about when they have an emotional outburst, or they're dealing with a friend or a peer? How does that look, socially, maybe being socially awkward? How do they navigate these things financially, spiritually? All of these aspects that as an adult, we have a challenging time navigating, let alone a child, right? So when I say, these things, it can make you question, right? It can make you question, where do I fit? Who is going to hear my voice? And do I even have anything to offer? And the answer is yes, you do. We all do. We have something to offer. We're here to do our part, stay in our lane, tend to our own garden, and stay in what the Most High has given us a skill set to do, and be good at that. Learn to be good at that, right? And go past the fears like I'm doing now. Like I said, the Most High has been nudging me and do this and go on, you're going to have a platform and do this. But no, I was comfortable with just hiding behind the image of, hey, I'm living my best life, but really struggling in all of those areas of my life. Have I gotten better in some areas? Absolutely. And these are things that I've learned. When we keep repeating patterns in our lives, which I have been the poster child for that, it's usually because there is something within us that we haven't fully addressed yet. Some people call it, the new word is avoidant or empath or narcissist. I mean, these words now are just so saturated where you never know what's going on, I'm glad that the words are there to identify kind of some of the traits or the patterns or the personality disorders that we all at some point have suffered from or suffer from. But we have to put it in its proper place. It has to be balanced. So that's why I'm here, because I don't have everything figured out, but because I am committed to doing the work and growing through it. And through this platform, I'm starting a series called The Negro Chronicles, and Negro spelled Knee and then grow, GROW, Chronicles. And this is just a space for honest conversations, healing, and growth. Just a little spin on the words, right? We could do Negro as like NE and then GROW. But it is just a place, for my melanated people who can maybe relate. And I'm not trying to leave anyone out. Definitely not. But like I said, my experience as an African-American woman, that's who I'm not going to hide behind, well, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. No, it's not intended for that. And if you get offended, hey, apologies in advance. It's not about that. But you're still welcome to come and join us. This is an international platform where women across the globe are welcome to join us and share in their experiences as a woman. Okay? Period. So if you're on this journey of healing, growth, and becoming, you're welcome here. And let's go ahead and do this thing and grow. And again, BolaniLe, Wealth of this house, legacy. Well, greetings. My name is BolaniLe Patterson, and welcome to Women Healing Globally. And, I'm just going to start kind of where I'm at right now. So, recently I had just came out of a relationship, an engagement to be exact. And I've been in a lot of relationships or marriages.